Brilliance Audio presents Involution Ocean by Bruce Sterling, performed by Stephen Graybill. We all have some emptiness in our lives, an emptiness that some fill with art, some with God, some with learning. I have always filled the emptiness with drugs. Because of this, I found myself, duffel bag in hand, ready to go on a whaling voyage on that obscure planet, Nullaqua. The Nullaquan dust whale is the only source of the drug syncophine. At the time of my voyage, knowledge of this fact was becoming more and more widely spread. Because I had learned it, I, John Newhouse, was living with 9 others on 488 Piety Street in the High Isle, Nullaqua's largest city. The 2-story metal building was known simply as the Newhouse to us, its inhabitants. We were a motley group. The only things uniting us were our extra Nullaquan origins and our connoisseur's delight in flair, the initiate's term for syncophine. We were all human beings, or close facsimiles thereof. First among us was white-haired old Timon Hajj Ali. Timon never told us his age, but he was obviously at that period when the body's own subconscious wish to die begins to take precedence over the ego's desire for life. I often heard him speak of his friendship centuries ago with Ericald Svabold, the legendary discoverer of syncophine. Now, however, pessimism had overcome old Timon, and for years he had refused any rejuvenation. He wanted only to spend the last of his life depleting his slowly amassed capital and savoring flair's fierce brain kick. In matters of policy concerning our little group, we usually deferred to him, as he still had the most money. Second was Agathina Brandt, a large muscular woman with a ramrod posture. She was evidently a retired military officer, and she was extremely terse, even sullen. She almost always wore a uniform, clean but old. There was no telling which one of humanity's numberless armies had issued it. She never told us. I suspect that she sewed it herself. Her addiction was extremely strong. Third and fourth were a married couple, Mr. and Mrs. Undine. Her maiden name was Stewart, his Foster. They also were quite old. One could tell their age from their unnatural grace and the occasional archaisms in their speech. They were handsome people, if you discounted their barrel chests and the rather tasteless jewelry grafted into their bodies. As they never tired of telling us, they had both lived through several marriages and could not stand the idea of the pain involved in breaking up their latest one. They had resolved to commit suicide together, preferably by overdose. Many times I was tempted to advise them to use a poison other than syncophine, but that, I thought, might be a boorish invasion of their privacy. The fifth of our company was a poet named Simon. Through cosmetic surgery he had acquired a kind of haggard handsomeness, although his eyes were of different colors. In an attempt to return to the roots, as he told us, he had bought a primitive stringed instrument and was trying to teach himself to play it, in order to accompany himself while chanting his own works. He had soundproofed his upstairs room. Syncophine, he said, stimulated his brain. There was certainly no denying that. Simon was accompanied by a mousy woman named Amelia, who had long brown hair parted severely in the middle. Her father was a scholar, and sent her enough money for her own support and that of her quasi-melodious companion. She had lived with us for a month before trying syncophine. Now she was developing a taste for it. Our seventh was a neuter, Daylight Mulligan. It was a charming conversationalist, and its speech revealed a great breadth of knowledge. It and I might have become close friends, were it not for its extreme paranoia regarding anyone possessing organs of reproduction.